What kind of person gets into Harvard and then walks away from it? Not because they failed, not because they were broke, not because school was too hard, but because they saw something bigger before almost everyone else. Bill Gates didn't drop out of Harvard because he hated education. He dropped out because he believed the future of computing was arriving right now. And if he waited, someone else would build it first. That decision would turn a college student into one of the richest men in history. But here's what most people get wrong. Bill Gates did not drop out blindly. He dropped out with an obsession, a plan, and a once-in-a-generation opportunity. So why did he really leave Harvard? And what made that risk different from an ordinary dropout story? This is the real story. Welcome to Success Story Breakdown, where we study the bold decisions behind the world's biggest success stories. And today we're breaking down the moment Bill Gates chose between Harvard and the future. Section 1. Bill Gates wasn't an average student. Before Harvard, Bill Gates was already different. As a teenager, he was obsessed with computers. While most students were just studying for exams, Gates was spending countless hours learning how machines worked and how software could control them. He wrote code early. He explored computer systems deeply. And he wasn't just curious, he was intense. By the time he entered Harvard in 1973, he was already far ahead of most people his age in programming. So when people say, Bill Gates dropped out and became rich, they miss the point. He didn't drop out as an ordinary student with no direction. He walked into Harvard already carrying years of skill, obsession, and experience. That matters. Because this story is not about quitting school. It's about recognizing when your opportunity becomes bigger than your classroom. Section 2. The moment everything changed, Altair 8800. Then came the moment that changed everything. In late 1974, Bill Gates' close friend Paul Allen showed him a magazine. On the cover was a machine called the Altair 8800. It was one of the first personal microcomputers. Today that may not sound revolutionary. But back then, it was like seeing the future before the rest of the world even understood it. Most computers at the time were massive, expensive machines used by universities, governments, or large companies. But the Altair suggested something radical. Computers could become personal. Not just for institutions. For regular people. And Bill Gates instantly understood what that meant. If personal computers were coming, they would need software. And if they needed software, this could become an entirely new industry. That was the real breakthrough. Not the machine itself. The opportunity behind it. Section 3. The risky move. They didn't even have the product yet. Now here's where the story gets even crazier. Gates and Paul Allen contacted the company behind the Altair and told them they had created a version of the basic programming language that could run on it. There was just one problem. They hadn't actually finished it yet. In fact, they didn't even have an Altair computer in front of them when they first made the claim. That means they were betting on their own ability before the product even existed. They had to build the software fast. Very fast. Working intensely, they created the program in a short period of time, using Harvard's computer resources to help develop it. Then Paul Allen traveled to Albuquerque for the test. If it failed, the opportunity could disappear instantly. If it worked, their lives could change forever. And it worked. That moment proved something powerful. Bill Gates wasn't just smart. He was willing to move before certainty. That's one of the biggest patterns in almost every success story. The winners often act while everyone else is still waiting for proof. Section 4. Why he really left Harvard. After that success, the decision became real. This was no longer just an experiment. This was a real business opportunity. A brand new market was opening. And markets don't wait for graduation. That's the part most people don't understand. Bill Gates didn't leave Harvard because he thought a degree had no value. He left because timing mattered more. If he stayed in school, someone else could build the software company that would dominate the personal computer revolution. And in fast-moving industries, being early can matter more than being perfect. So in 1975, at just 19 years old, Bill Gates left Harvard to focus on building Microsoft with Paul Allen. Not because school was useless, because the opportunity was urgent. That is a completely different mindset from, I'm dropping out and hoping life works out. Section 5. The hidden advantage most people ignore. Now let's be honest. There's something important many motivational videos leave out. Bill Gates had advantages. He was brilliant. He had years of programming experience. He had access to powerful computer systems earlier than most people. He had a strong partnership with Paul Allen. And most importantly, he wasn't dropping out into confusion. He was dropping out into momentum. That's a huge difference. A lot of people hear stories like this and think the lesson is, school doesn't matter. That's the wrong lesson. The real lesson is, when preparation meets timing, bold decisions become powerful. Bill Gates didn't succeed because he dropped out. He succeeded because he had already built the skills and spotted the moment. Dropping out was not the reason. It was the response. The real lesson for viewers, make it relatable. So what should you actually learn from Bill Gates dropping out of Harvard? Not that you should quit school. Not that success comes from taking random risks. And definitely not that education doesn't matter. The real lesson is this. Big success often comes from seeing what others don't see, and moving before the world agrees with you. Bill Gates had skill, obsession, timing, courage, and a clear opportunity. That combination is rare. And that's why his story matters. Because the world usually celebrates the result. But the real power was in the decision. Strong Oyutaro. Curiosity-driven ending that makes them stay engaged/subscribe. Bill Gates didn't drop out because he wanted an easier life. He dropped out because he realized something terrifying. Sometimes the biggest risk is waiting too long. And the truth is, history is full of people who looked reckless in the moment, until the world caught up. So the next time someone says, Bill Gates dropped out, so school doesn't matter, remember this. He didn't leave Harvard to escape work. He left because he had already found the work that could change the world. And that raises a bigger question. How many life-changing opportunities look crazy right before they become obvious? If you want more stories like this, where we break down the exact decisions behind legendary success, subscribe now. Because the next success story might completely change how you think about risk.